But today our focus ahead of the union budget is on the politics. Before tomorrow we focus on the money. The critical state of Uttar Pradesh goes to polls in about a fortnight from now. Polls that could have significant impact on the Narendra Modi government and the opposition fortunes. We are going to bring you the big numbers, but first tell you why UP is so important. Of course, it's India's most populous state, the prize state in Lok Sabha elections as well. Remember, there are as many as 80 MPs that UP has. It is, of course, the biggest BJP's biggest gain in 2014 was here. 73 seats Mr. Modi and his allies had got here, which is why some would say Modi magic is on test once again. How many tests, others will say, will the Prime Minister have to go through, especially post demonetization and the surgical strikes. It's also a do or die battle for Mayawati in particular and the BSP, and importantly it is also critical for the Samajwadi Party and the new alliance between Akhilesh Yadav and the Congress, because a victory for him could position Akhilesh in particular as a national leader of the future, and for Rahul Gandhi critical for the Congress's revival. Methodology of our survey, let's be transparent. The Access survey went to 25,268 people, sampled all 403 assembly constituencies. I reiterate, all 403 assembly constituencies, so it's not random. The survey took place between the 15th and the 30th of January. That's when the field work was conducted. So it also includes the SP Congress alliance being firmed up. Vote share projection. Let's go straight to the big numbers that you've been waiting for. What is the Access India Today poll saying for UP? We are predicting the BJP gets 34.8% along with its allies. That's down compared to 2014 where they got 42%, but is up compared to 2012 when the party was around 20%. SP Congress 33.2%, marginally behind. So the gap has narrowed as a result compared to our last poll that we did a month ago. The Rahul Akhilesh combine is slowly working. The BSP is the one taking the hit. 20.1% is what we are predicting. And others, which include a number of independents and rebels, are around 11%. So that's the overall picture. A tight fight in Uttar Pradesh. How is this translating into the big numbers in the 403-member Uttar Pradesh Assembly? And this is what we are saying. The BJP and its allies 180 to 191 short of a majority. Last time we did a poll, they were getting a majority, but the BJP has come down, has slipped, we believe, in the last 4 weeks, 180 to 191. On the other hand, the Samajwadi Party Congress combine is on the up, 168 to 178. So they are now the party on the rise, this combine which has come together. They have the momentum at the moment. Long way to go, but they have the momentum. And Mayawati, often underestimated in many opinion polls, 39 to 43. She's heading, possibly if these numbers are right, for the worst performance of the BSP in 2 decades. Others 1 to 4 is what we are suggesting. We've got lots of guests joining me on our program to get a sense of making sense of the numbers, and I'm going to break it down region-wise, give you the chief ministerial stakes and plenty more. Professor Vivek Kumar from JNU, social political analyst, someone close to Mayawati and the BSP. Also joining me, Surjit Bhalla, political economist, who will be doing the numbers on budget day tomorrow, but also loves to do number crunching. Ashok Malik, senior journalist and columnist with me. Sharat Pradhan, Uttar Pradesh's foremost journalist, is joining me from Lucknow, someone who's followed UP politics for decades. Pradeep Gupta, the MD of Axis APM, our psephologist who's done these numbers. We'll also be getting quick reactions from Nalin Kohli, the national spokesperson of the BJP, Sanjay Jha of the Congress, Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party, also being joined by Manisha Priyam, who's part of our stellar election analysis team. I appreciate all of you joining us at the moment. Lots to talk about at the moment. But let me get first reactions to those numbers at the moment. Clearly, it suggests, Ashok Malik, that the momentum has shifted in the last month. The formation of the Akhilesh Rahul alliance clearly suggests UP is now in for a highly competitive fight.
It's in for a very, very riveting contest. Obviously, the Samajwadi Party, Congress combined has strengthened the Samajwadi Party. My big question is, the BSP is at 20%, which is where it was in 2014 as well, which is a score Dalit vote.
Yes.
Now, will the score Dalit vote in some constituencies attract the anti-BJP vote, maybe Muslims, and therefore weaken the SP Congress? Or will it decide that there's no point staying with Mayawati and start breaking away towards either of the other formations? That could change things a little bit here or there, either for Samajwadi Party Congress or for the BJP.
Your first reaction, Surjit Bhalla, to those numbers? It appears that suddenly we really have a neck-and-neck battle compared to a month ago where it appeared the BJP was walking away with Uttar Pradesh.
Yeah, I think there are two major questions that I have, apart from we can go into the numbers.
Yes.
Will demonetization have any effect? And in UP, the contest is of such a nature, and I think the numbers are suggesting that has a positive effect for the BJP, but we can get to that later. Second, and there's no one who agrees with me on this, I've talked to several people, will the budget tomorrow have an effect on voting patterns? Now, there's reason to think that it doesn't have any effect whatsoever, but I think sentiment, if the BJP manages to produce a feel-good budget, then I think it will swing the vote decisively in favor. It won't have any effect.
You believe that the budget can have an impact on the elections?
So. I believe so.
That's an interesting argument. Let me just get first reactions from everyone. Professor Vivek Kumar, as someone who has in the past followed Mayawati closely and often believed opinion polls underestimate her, every opinion poll on UP in the last 72 hours has put Mayawati at a poor third. Are you saying all of them are underestimating her? Do you believe that the SP Congress alliance in particular is damaging Mayawati even more than it is damaging the BJP at the moment?
No, I will not take that actually anybody is damaging or your polls are wrong, but definitely there is a poor perception as far as media perception is concerned, and BSP is not getting at all anywhere near, and the newsmakers have been always SP and BJP, and therefore actually you can see these reflections. But at the grassroots level things are very different. If you watch YouTube and others, the way BSP cadres are speaking, I think something is much bigger, and there can be a lot of surprise.
So you believe that the BJP, it's interesting you're saying surprise, and I'll come to it. Never rule out Mayawati is the old jungle saying, of course, of Uttar Pradesh. But Gaurav Bhatia, suddenly it appears that you have reason to smile because now it is a tight contest. However, there is a feeling that the contest could get closer. Sanjay Jha, why don't you respond? Because for the Congress party, you are clutching at straws in Uttar Pradesh. You've now latched your bandwagon to Akhilesh Yadav. Are you really believing this momentum will last? Remember, this poll has been done when the alliance was just cemented. Now the difficulties could start on the ground. Mulayam Singh has said he will not support the alliance. There are going to be many rebels. Are you still believing that this alliance's chemistry will work? Forget the arithmetic for a moment. Will the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh, Rahul, chemistry work on the ground? A party that you called a party of gundas till not too long ago.
Rajdeep, if you find such a strong cementing of public support,
yes,
even when the electoral alliance was announced, you can imagine how much momentum it has actually picked up since then, because the campaigning is actually intensified and it's actually growing by the day. So I'm forecasting, because I'm looking at a couple of other opinion polls as well, which show that the Congress Samajwadi Party alliance is not just leading, but is establishing a substantial and a very impressive head start already.
But the larger
manifestation of the panic within the Bharatiya Janata Party is... but let me tell you, you are hearing Suresh Rana, you are hearing Amit Shah talk about religion and reservation. You can see BJP's polarization strategies coming into play, which tells you that the development spin is now being surrendered, because when BJP gets down into hardcore, hardline polarization, it tells you that they are desperate. And that is exactly what's happening as we talk. They are talking about Kairana, they are talking about Ram Temple, they are making very inflammatory speeches, and everyone is actually got down into playing the old Hindutva card. and that is telling you that the combination of Samajwadi Party, led by the Chief Minister
Can I-
Akhilesh Yadav and Mr. Rahul Gandhi in the Congress is a formidable
Sir,
combination.
can I ask you to keep
Yeah, go
your
ahead.
answer short so that we can
Go ahead.
get every reaction to the poll numbers for a moment? Sorry to say that, but
Sure.
Nalin Kohli, your response. A month ago, it appeared a certainty that the BJP was winning Uttar Pradesh. You're still ahead, but it appears you now have a fight on your hands. The arithmetic of the Samajwadi Party Congress coming together will make this a tighter race. Do you concede that it's now a tighter race at least?
Rajiv, can you hear me? Because I see that there's a frozen shot of mine on screen. So I'm not sure if you are ready.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with your mic. We'll try and get it right and come back to you in a moment. I want to go to Manisha Priyam, our other analyst. Manisha Priyam, you're now joining us. Do you also believe, and a quick response, that this is a tighter race now? Or is it still advantage BJP? Because as is being suggested, the Samajwadi Party Congress alliance on the ground may still face difficulties. And Mr. Modi still believes that he has the momentum.
In a sense, I think these numbers are very credible. The race is a lot tighter, and this is something we can feel on the ground also. Our surveyors or researchers, I should say, are on the ground, and we can see that in a sense, the stitching up of the alliance has proved to be a very credible alternative to what could have been seen as a runaway success of the BJP for these state level elections. However, one of the other things that's also quite visible is that Mayawati's vote bank, which in any case is a hidden vote bank, it does seem that some of that vote bank may be inclined towards the BJP. So one doesn't know, and what the feeling really is that the UP elections will really go down to the wire. At this point of time, however, the Akhilesh and Rahul Gandhi combined leading is a formidable challenge.
Okay.
Therefore, one would see a very keenly contested Uttar Pradesh election.
You know, it appears very keenly contested, but I want to press you, Gaurav Bhatia, you were not with us earlier. Is this election in any way, in your view, simply now about adding the numbers, particularly that 18 to 20% Muslim vote? That is critical. May I warn you, there are 52 seats where you have put up Muslim candidates, where Mayawati also has a Muslim candidate. And if that vote gets divided, particularly in Western UP, it will be advantage to the BJP. I'm putting up the numbers across regions. And interestingly, as per our poll, you are doing better in Western than Eastern UP. But I want to understand, do you really believe that the entire Muslim vote will consolidate behind you? Mayawati has given 97 Muslims tickets, many of whom are powerful candidates.
Rajdeep, I would like to start by saying that you said a very pertinent thing, that momentum seems to be in favor of SP Congress. And let us not forget, a lot of undecided voters go with the momentum. The momentum is in favor of the SP Congress alliance. Second, minority votes, as you were saying, have definitely consolidated behind SP and Congress. And Samajwadi Party will form a government with at least 300 seats. Let me say this very categorically on your channel, and we will speak again on 11th of March. Third, I think for any state assembly elections, the face of the chief minister is very crucial. In Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, the tallest leader of Uttar Pradesh, is there, and people have a lot of faith in him. He has delivered on his promises. BJP, on the other hand, completely lacks credibility,
let's not have
and there is no face.
Gauravji,
I do agree with the survey numbers that BSP would have the worst elections and they would be decimated in the 2017 election.
Okay, let's get quick response. You made an important point about Akhilesh Yadav. I know he's in the news. Let me tell you what our survey is showing. When it comes to the chief ministerial stakes, take a look at who is ahead in the chief ministerial stakes in Uttar Pradesh. Remember, the BJP has not put up a chief ministerial candidate. And this is what our survey shows. Akhilesh Yadav, 35%. Rajnath Singh 21%, Mayawati 20%, Yogi Adityanath 14%, Keshav Prasad Maurya 2%, Priyanka Gandhi not in the race really, but 1%, 35% to Akhilesh Yadav. That's about 14% ahead of the next best, who's Rajnath Singh, who for some reason is reluctant to be projected as a chief minister. But add Rajnath and Adityanath, and that gives the BJP also hope perhaps and reflects how close this election is. Nalin Kohli, looking at those numbers and a first reaction, there is a feeling that while the BJP has the issues possibly of capitalizing on anti-incumbency against the ruling government there, you don't have a chief ministerial face. Is that the one big handicap you will face, particularly as Akhilesh Yadav is making this about himself? I'm afraid we are having a problem with Nalin Kohli. I don't know why, but we seem to be missing out on our BJP guest again and again. But a quick reaction to that. Is that a problem for the BJP?
The lack of a chief ministerial candidate? Yes. The point is, if Akhilesh especially gains momentum, then that could end up being a factor. I do wonder, however, Aradeep, I wonder if you remember the Tamil Nadu election last year, which was also neck and neck till the eve of the election almost, and we couldn't predict it. There, if the DMK lost eventually, but the DMK won over 50% of the seats it contested. The problem was it gave away too many seats to the Congress, its ally, and the Congress did very badly. I am wondering whether the Samajwadi Party, by giving 100 seats to the Congress, may have made the same mistake.
You know, it's very interesting because that happened with Tamil Nadu as well. As you said, the DMK lost out because of giving too many seats to the Congress. Can that happen? An alliance, Surjit, and this is, I want you to look at it from a numbers point of view. In the last election, Congress 2012 got 11% and the Samajwadi Party got 29%. Add the two, they get 40%. And 40%, they sweep Uttar Pradesh. Do you believe it's as simple as that, adding votes, or actually the Congress is going to have to get a section of the upper caste on its side away from the BJP to be able to actually lift the Samajwadi Party? Samajwadi Party may vote for the Congress. Will Congress voters vote for Samajwadi Party?
I'm sure this question will be continuously discussed until March 11th. Is this a replica of Bihar?
Yes.
And my analysis, both with the numbers and otherwise, suggests that it is not. There was a very, very solid vote for Lalu, and, if you will, a solid vote for Nitish. That combination made a lot of sense. This one, if you will, suddenly sprung on you. They're completely divergent personalities, they're completely divergent parties. The one is a has-been party, the other is an up-and-coming party. So I just do not see the logic behind a complete, if you will, replica of the Bihar election. Second, if you will, the Congress and the SP are getting 35 or 33% of the vote. And, you know, this is, if you join their votes for the last 8 elections, 4 assembly and 4 Congress, this is the lowest. So therefore, you've got to be careful. It's just about the same. Actually, it's about 2 percentage points higher.
But you're saying
than
it's
was
not,
2014.
so it's not a simple matter of arithmetic and adding numbers.
And one other point, and it's similar to what we observed, but opposite now in Punjab, is that the BJP is gaining from the BSP vote. The decline in the BSP vote is almost entirely going, whereas the Congress and the SP are not gaining anything at all.
We will come to that in a moment, whether the BSP decline is benefiting the BJP more than it is benefiting the Samajwadi Party and Congress. But let me go to the man on the ground, Lucknow's best journalist, Sharat Pradhan. Sharat, do these numbers, in a sense, reflect the mood on the ground, that this is now a tight fight? Or do you still believe that, like a month ago, the BJP is the party to still beat in Uttar Pradesh? Just because Akhilesh and Rahul have come together, 2 plus 2 does not add up to 4.
Well, 2 plus 2 may not add up to 4, but as far as this combination is concerned, it has certainly sent a message that here is a combine which can take on the might of the BJP. And that is a message to the Muslims. And the Muslim vote is extremely crucial in this election. I look at it this way, that Muslim vote is crucial for Akhilesh's survival, for Mayawati's revival, and for Congress's rejuvenation. So, you know, and it's also important for the BJP, because any split in this vote is good news for the BJP, as you yourself pointed out. So you know, this election is going to be, it's going to be a tough call. But, you know, at the moment I see Akhilesh still having an edge, Akhilesh and Rahul together. But what happens tomorrow can make a lot of difference, can be a game changer. What comes out in the budget, because people here are, a lot of the section of the poorer class is hoping that they would be getting some sops through the budget, and that could make a lot of difference.
It's interesting, both you also seem to suggest that the budget could make a difference. Remember, the opposition has complained about the February 1 budget, but there is another question, and I treat it as an X factor. Is it a possibility, Vivek Kumar, that as every party, non-BJP party appeals to the Muslim vote, there is a silent Hindu consolidation? We saw it in Western UP last time. It was in the aftermath of Muzaffarnagar. We are already seeing it in the way the BJP is playing the card of Babri Masjid, Ram Mandir once again, triple talaq, Kairana. Do you see, and is that a fear that all the opposition parties will have, that the BJP could, like in 2014, consolidate a Hindu vote as a backlash to every other party appealing for a Muslim vote?
I don't think so in UP that this has happened. And actually,
it happened in 2014.
In 14, but there was a prime ministerial candidate who was fresh. Nobody had tested. Now there has been a test. There is 2.5 years of testing. Nothing has come to the ground. People have actually, the farmers are saying that they have not raised their prices of crops. They are not getting, urea. They are not even getting money. And that demonetization is hurting like them anything.
You believe demonetization is a factor in this UP election?
Second thing is that what actually the edge which is being shown to SP. What about Shivpal Yadav floating a political party?
He says he will float it after 11th of March.
But the people are contesting elections. There is a confusion among the Muslim voters who were till yesterday ardent supporters of SP. So there is a political party as if that they are not doing anything and others are only adding up. Are they doing politics or not? Is BSP doing any politics or not?
No.
Is there any agenda which they have set or not?
No.
I don't see anything.
You don't think Mayawati is a leader on the decline?
I'm not seeing at all, because if you see the only party which set the agenda by giving them 403 seats, or the tickets were distributed, she is the only leader where there is no political shuffle or any conflict which is taking place in that party. Every other party is actually facing anti-incumbency as well as fight within the rank and file.
I started on the question of Hindu consolidation. Let me turn to Nalin Kohli, who finally gets through. Nalin Kohli, the lines to you were not clear, a bit like what seems to be happening in UP at the moment. The momentum seems to be going away from the BJP, and Hindu consolidation, Ram Mandir, triple talaq, Kairana are the issues you are now raising. Are you going to play the Hindu card, particularly as these numbers now come up? Is this going to lead you to play the Hindu card in UP? If the Congress SP focuses on that 20% Muslim vote, the 12% Yadav vote, are you perforce going to tackle the Hindu vote and the non-OBC Yadavs and non-Jatav Dalits in particular?
I have multiple points to make, and it's nice to be finally on your show. The first is, let me come head on to what you asked in your question, and then I'll come back to the points I wanted to make earlier. It's that, to me, it's always fascinating. I think the vote or the fight is not about a Hindu vote. It's about an Indian vote and a vote of aspiration. That's the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's agenda. If you say that we are looking at Ram Temple, that was a question which was answered. It always is asked, and we always answer it. And the answer every time is the same. But importantly, what has been missed out is then what about women who are, in terms of the petition which is pending before the Supreme Court in the triple talaq, the UP government is not a party to it. Why is it not? So I think that parties in Uttar Pradesh are vying to constantly treat the Muslim vote bank as a cattle vote bank, or another vote bank as a cattle vote bank. That, they have to vote because there's a fear factor. Our agenda is not based on fear. Our agenda is based on expansion. And let me go back to the figures now. If you look at 2014, that's an inflection point in the vote of Uttar Pradesh vis-a-vis the BJP. Because it's not just Narendra Modi as the prime ministerial candidate, but over the period, it's an appeal. We were 15% in 2012. You are showing us as 34% currently in your survey, and 42.5% we were in 2014. That means if you're seeing the drop in your, assumedly that your survey is correct, it's of 20% over 2014. But it's more than double of what it was in 2012. So what has happened? Earlier, everyone looked at the BJP only as a party that would appeal to a very fixed catchment of upper caste and maybe some backwards. But if you're getting a 34%, it means, may I finish? Have the patience,
quickly, please.
Just
quickly,
because
we've
I'm
got
making
lots
a
of voices.
sensible
Quickly,
point
Nalin.
doesn't need to make you defensive. So if you look at it now, our catchment area of the vote is far greater.
Okay.
And that is an agenda not just of the Prime Minister Modi's charisma, but more importantly of the agenda that we are pursuing. So
Can
that's
I
why
hold on?
34%
Sir,
is
can
not
I hold
small.
on?
It's huge.
Sir,
And
you
that, I
make
think,
a
is
very
the
good
message
point.
that people are missing.
Mr. Kohli, you make a good point that you believe the BJP has widened its base. It has reached out, I believe, to non-Yadav OBCs, non-Jatav Dalits. Therefore, you are widening your agenda, but you are down compared to 2014. And there may be a slight warning signal somewhere in that. And compared to 1 month ago, the opposition seems to be growing. Pradeep Gupta of Axis APM, you have done this poll. I want to tell our viewers, this poll is not done by me, it's done by Pradeep Gupta of Axis APM. Please tell us, in a three-cornered race, can I say with any confidence that UP is heading for a hung assembly, or do you believe that one side will start getting the momentum? Is there a sense in this poll that there is a hung assembly is the most likely? Quick answer, Pradeep.
I don't think there is going to be finally the hung assembly. If you last 3 years, people give the decisive verdict, number one.
Yes.
Number two, this is the third time we went to UP and we went to each and every constituencies. So there is going to be not three corner, but actually the fight has become bipolar and it is very tight. There are at least 60 to 70 seats which are sitting on 2 to 3% margins. So
Right.
it can turn either way, depend on the kind of candidate is
How
fielded
many
by the different parties.
seats? How many seats are 2 to 3%? Out of 403, how many seats would be 2 to 3%?
At least 2 to 3%, at least 36 seats, and about 5% another 25 seats. So in total, roughly 50 to 60 seats are sitting on a very, very watertight race.
Okay, so it's still an open race. What you are suggesting, therefore, is Uttar Pradesh is at the moment a race which still cannot, in that sense, be called. Gaurav Bhatia, I know you want to respond. Let me take a small break, ponder over those numbers, because I am going to come up with my own 9 X factors that can change this Uttar Pradesh election. And I want all of you to respond to those X factors. This is the election which everyone is closely looking at. India's price state is possibly now heading for a real cliffhanger in the next 5 to 6 weeks. What are the X factors that can change this UP election? Let me put them up on the screen. The India Today Axis poll is predicting a neck-and-neck fight in the key battleground state of Uttar Pradesh, predicting that the Congress Samajwadi Party alliance and the BJP in a neck-and-neck fight. 403 seats, BJP plus 180 to 191, and the Samajwadi Party Congress alliance 168 to 178. So no one at the moment touching the halfway 202 mark in this India Today Axis poll. Mayawati taking a bit of a beating, 39 to 43, others 1 to 4. So that's how it's playing out in UP. But remember, this is a key state which has confounded every pollster in the past. 6 weeks to go and much can change in UP. It's often called, for that reason, every pollster's nightmare. The X factors, and these are all my own X factors for Uttar Pradesh. I want my panelists to discuss them. Will the Samajwadi Party Congress alliance actually work on the ground? Because there are reports of rebellion in different parts of Uttar Pradesh. Will the Muslim vote get divided between SP, Congress and BSP? I maintain there are as many as 50 plus seats where both the SP and BSP have put up Muslim candidates. Will the BJP retain its upper caste vote across UP? This is an important part because the BJP needs this upper caste vote to stay with it, not drift to Congress, particularly in urban UP. Will who should be CM of UP become a factor? Remember, our poll is showing Akhilesh Yadav well ahead in the chief ministerial stake. BJP has not put up a CM candidate. Who will the non-OBC Yadavs go with? The BJP and Amit Shah consciously targeting the non-OBC Yadav, Sainis, Nishads, Mauryas, the smaller communities. Who will Mayawati damage more? She seems to be becoming a spoiler. Will she damage the Congress SP or the BJP? Number 5, which alliance or party today is facing a greater internal rebellion? And that becomes important in a state like Uttar Pradesh. Where will those rebellion, who will it be affecting? The BJP in eastern UP and the Congress SP possibly in western and central is what some suggestions are there. The critical X factor, Sharath Pradhan, what to your mind will decide this UP election? Is it the Muslim vote, Hindu consolidation?
Well, as far as Hindu consolidation is concerned, I've already talked about the Muslim vote. You know, what you were looking at it, that the Muslim Hindu consolidation which Amit Shah is trying out by raking up the Ayodhya issue, I don't see Ayodhya issue having any political potential now. It has already lost its vote potential many years ago, and that is the reason Amit Shah is now raking up issues like Kairana,
Right.
issues like you know, they're letting loose somebody as rabid as Yogi Adityanath to launch
Right.
the campaign from Western UP, which makes it very evident that they are in for playing up the communal card. You know, if Modi got 2014, the surge that he got in 2014, it was because he shunned any mention of the communal, any Hindutva factor. He never raked up any communal
Right.
issue. But Amit Shah very systematically does it, probably because he can't look beyond Hindutva. But it is not going to work. Let me tell you, let me remind you that in 2014, a few months after
So very quickly, what's the
Lok Sabha
biggest issue,
elections, there were
Sharad?
11 by-elections in UP, and BJP lost. Well, there could be the among the X factors. Among the X factors could be, certainly this will be one of the issues. The demonetization is going to be there, because demonetization, you know, something which has been missed out by a lot of people. It has forged a divide between the rich and the poor, the haves and have-nots. And the have-nots are for Modi. They praise Modi for this. And,
Okay, that's
you
an
know,
interesting.
this is where
Let me hold
Mayawati
you.
is so rattled,
Let me hold you to
because
that.
a lot of this voter, a chunk of this voter comes from the...
Let me hold you to that. Demonetization could actually benefit Mr. Modi because of the divide between haves and have-nots. That's an interesting observation. There are conflicting anecdotal stories coming from the ground in that regard. Tomato growers in Western UP are complaining they're not getting their price. But in other areas, as you can see in that poll, only created problems. Post-demo impact, 25% are saying that. So it is 1 in every 4 who are saying it has created problem. Has it led to recovery of black money? 21% are saying that. Will it benefit the poor? Only 12% are saying that. So we don't know whether it will actually create that class war. The big thing at the moment is, will it create more problems in the next 6 weeks, or will the budget provide sweeteners to offset the demonetization factor? That's an interesting X factor. But Manisha, Priyam, and I want quick responses from everyone. What do you believe is the X factor? We are predicting now a neck and neck fight at the moment in UP. What will change the UP election according to you? A quick response.
I think it's the Muslim votes that will prove to be the X factor. And remember, as much as we are talking about Mayawati having given many tickets, what is not being spoken about in the media is that Akhilesh has a whole brand new lot of young Muslim leadership, especially in the eastern parts of UP, that's all behind him. In Western UP, his reliance is still on the traditional Azam Khan. And therefore, I would see that if he is able to clinch this one from Mayawati,
Yes.
then he would edge out in the race. Having said that, I would like to somewhat tone down my own fervor for the Muslims being the X factor in favor of Akhilesh and Rahul Gandhi combined,
Right.
by saying that if the Dalit votes were somewhat to shift as Hindu votes towards the BJP, especially in Western UP, the balance could tilt towards the BJP. In that case, the observation that I hold will not bear on the ground.
Okay.
And it could be advantage BJP in that scenario.
The X factor, Gaurav Bhatia, quick response. What is the X factor as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned?
Rajdeep, first of all, I am pretty sure about one thing, that even in your surveys, there would be some minority votes that would be reflected in the BSP as of now. But as I said earlier, as momentum is with the Samajwadi Party, the closer we go to the polling date, the minority vote bank consolidation will happen. Second, I think we are missing out on a very crucial point, that is the youth power. 40% of the voters are actually below the age of 40 years, 35 years, and their clear youth icon is Mr. Akhilesh Yadav. The BJP doesn't have any, and I don't think Ms. Mayawati appeals to them. They will also actually have a very crucial place, and they will go in favor of Samajwadi Party.
Okay.
Third, I feel the communal politics of BJP is denting the limited chances of the BJP. It is already clear that Sangeet Som is seen distributing the Muzaffarnagar riots CDs. We are seeing Sakshi Maharaj making communal statements. FIR has been registered. And just yesterday, Suresh Rana again made a communal statement. They are far away from development, and that would cost them dearly.
Okay, you're saying, I like the point you made about the youth factor. We'll see how that plays, because remember in 2014, Mr. Modi scored heavily among the young of Uttar Pradesh, cutting across caste groups, and that was an important factor in the BJP sweep. Quick response from you, Nalin Kohli, as to the X factor that you see. Just a minute, Nalin Kohli, quick response. What is the big X factor?
I have 2 points to make. One is on the youth factor and one is on the X factor, which I believe there is.
Yes.
The youth factor is, of course, in his enthusiasm. Gaurav Bhai has forgotten that, as you rightly pointed out,
yes,
that Prime Minister Modi was then the prime ministerial candidate, and this youth voted for him. So I think we are underestimating that, and they want to overestimate it for their end. And I think the X factor here is the contradictions in the Samajwadi Party and the Congress alliance. Up to a few weeks ago, it was UP Behal. 27 saal UP Behal was Rahul Gandhi ji's famous slogan. So the question on the ground is कि फिर जुड़े क्यों ये दो? क्या यूपी की बेहाली बढ़ाने के लिए?
That doesn't
Let me give
affect
another
the
example.
positive
There is an
image of
X
Mr.
factor in
Akhilesh Yadav. That
Shivpal
was
ji, in
the
Mulayam
Congress
Singh ji.
slogan.
No, no, sir, let
Till
him speak.
yesterday, no, let me finish. Second, let me finish. I don't interrupt Gaurav Bhai. Don't be defensive. The second factor is Mulayam Singh ji yesterday said, I won't campaign for this alliance. Shivpal ji's statement I read in the paper today that I'll form a new party by after 11th of March. So I think we are, just trying to gloss over the reality. The question is if the hand and the cycle have got together. Till yesterday, they were completely opposed to each other. People are not fools. People on the ground are asking questions. What happened? What is the work done over 5 years?
Sir, you've given me
Can
your...
the attack on the BJP wipe out the track record of the Samajwadi Party?
So you believe...
How is it going to? What about lawlessness?
Sir, you've
what
given-
about law and order?
Sir, you've
what
given
about
your-
Bulandshahr rape? What about women's security? What about lack of development, corruption?
You believe, therefore, anti-incumbency cannot be overcome simply by stitching this alliance. Take that, Sanjay Jha, that just because an alliance or marriage of convenience is formed for survival, that doesn't wipe out 5 years of anti-incumbency. What, according to you, is the X factor that you believe will give the Samajwadi Party, Congress the momentum? One side is going to get the momentum. We have seen in recent elections, people don't like hung assemblies. Who is going to get that momentum? What is the X factor the Congress SP has in your view? Quickly.
Yeah, Rajdeep, let me tell you, I think many people have missed the most critical underlying point that is going in favor of the Samajwadi Party and the Congress combined. In Mr. Akhilesh Yadav and Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the people of Uttar Pradesh are not just looking at a triumph in this election, but a sustainable future in two young, bright, progressive leadership. I think what Uttar Pradesh can expect is a more stable and a more guaranteed, I think, stable leadership going forward. I think you're going to find a progressive increase, not just in this election, but hopefully in the future as well. The second point, please don't ignore this. Mr. Modi, it's not just about demonetization, Rajdeep. Mr. Modi's government over the last 3 years has been a monumental failure on practically all fronts. I think people of India have discovered, I think people of Uttar Pradesh have discovered, especially the farming community, the social sector, the underprivileged sections have known that Mr. Modi took them on a jolly big ride. And the third point, the BJP's anti-Dalit character has been exposed over the last 3 years. So if anybody believes that's going to change, it's not. I think there is going to be a consolidation in every sense in favor of Samajwadi Party in the Congress.
Can I respond to Mr. Nalin Kohli's comments, please?
No, I will let. I think you have given your X factor. You have said
Even
you have
I'd
given.
like to respond.
No, 1 minute. Each one, then it will carry on. Politicians always say our polls are wrong. All right, I want to come to analysts who have nothing at stake, hopefully, in this poll. Surjit Bhalla, quick response. What is the X factor? And a quick response, sir.
Yeah, there are two X factors amongst those that you mentioned, and I think it's very comprehensive.
Yes.
Who will Mayawati damage more?
Yes.
And, if you will, the Muslim vote Hindu consolidation. On the Muslim vote Hindu consolidation, you mentioned triple talaq along with Mandir. Yes. And I think triple talaq is actually a very, very positive, liberal thing for the BJP to do. So it won't resonate negatively as the Mandir issue has resonated in the past. So therefore, I would consider that an XY factor in favor of BJP, that they're finally bringing in the Uniform Civil Code and if you will, the triple talaq. But who Mayawati's supporters damage vote, that's what your data is suggesting. as of now, that the shift is from Mayawati's voters to the BJP.
So you think the more Mayawati collapses,
Yeah.
the more she collapses, it makes it a tighter race?
No.
You believe it goes
makes
towards the BJP. She is getting the Mayawati is
So
declining.
more it is split, it helps the BJP. And if the Mayawati voter shifts towards the BJP, helps the BJP.
3 points to make.
Yes. The X factor.
Yeah, Akhilesh talking about a new mandate, a new polity and all of that. But the fact is he's essentially building on the old SP Yadav Muslim base. That's what he's trying to recreate and consolidate. He certainly has a brand identity himself. He is the Achilles of this alliance. The Congress may well be the Achilles heel. It may have got simply too many seats, 100 seats.
Who is the Achilles? The Congress, you believe?
No. Akhilesh may be the Achilles of that alliance.
Right.
And the Congress may well be the Achilles heel.
Okay.
That's one. So,
Yes.
has he given
Number
away too many
two.
seats? Number two, where there is a Yadav Muslim consolidation in solid numbers, we've seen that over 20 years, the BJP usually benefits or gains from a counter mobilization of other groups.
Okay.
Whether who wins is another matter. My third factor, I still believe we are underrating Mayawati, and 39 to 43 is simply too few seats for her.
Okay. So that should give a smile to Vivek Kumar. Don't underestimate Mayawati, the old jungle rule, right? Don't underestimate her. I also want to tell our viewers, and this is Pradeep Gupta, correct me if I'm wrong. There are 170 seats out of 403 where Muslims and Yadavs together add up to more than 25% of a constituency. And there are 170 seats approximately where upper castes also in that seat add up to more than 25%. Am I correct, Pradeep?
Let me come to first your X factor. According to me, non-Jatav Dalit votes are the X factor. At the moment, they are about 10% in total, and BJP is getting about 16%, and the Gadbandhan, SP Gadbandhan is getting 15%. Whoever is able to get majority of these non-Jatav Dalit votes, I think will surge ahead. That's
Okay,
the first
whoever
point
gets
I
the
wanted to make.
non-Jatav,
That's the key.
whoever gets the non-Jatav
Dalit.
OBC vote says, the non-Jatav Dalit vote says
Dalit.
our pollster will have the advantage.
surge ahead.
I believe that whoever actually is able to consolidate their core vote bank will win this election. If the BJP consolidates its core vote bank among upper caste and non-OBC Yadavs, it's advantage BJP. If the Congress SP alliance consolidates the Yadav Muslim, and if the Congress is able to break a section of the upper caste, then it is advantage Congress SP is my reading. But clearly at the moment in Uttar Pradesh, it is going to be a tough race. One side is going to get the momentum, we believe, in the next 6 weeks. Who will it be? As we've shown you, this is the final poll. And remember, at the end of the day, the voters' intelligence is not determined by polls. Number of people are abusing me on social media saying your polls will influence the voter. Trust me, don't abuse the intelligence of the Indian voter. They will decide, and they don't necessarily go by what an English news channel has decided is going to be the winner or loser. Punjab, Uttarakhand, Goa and UP, and of course the state of Manipur, from where we also hope to report, will eventually decide. The voter will decide. Voter is at the end of the day Janta Janardhan. Never forget that. Tomorrow we are back with the union budget, 8 a.m. onwards, and we'll see whether Narendra Modi can shift the balance with a budget for the people. Till then, thanks for watching. Goodbye.